Hey everybody, it's Jesse here. We are back in the studio after like a long hiatus away from here. Got
Yay!
Jason Esparza back there running the show, and it's Vinyl Voices. In case you guys forgot, there's a sign there. We're happy to be back. This is season 3 of the show, and we're very honored today to have Mike Porterfield, Dave DaVegas, Bastard Union.
Bastard Union is kind of a conglomeration of a couple of different projects that we've been involved in, Dave and I. So mainly, obviously, it's the Poor Dumb Bastards is our main core of what we do. And we're lucky enough to have most of the band, minus Byron, of course, the lead singer, but myself and Dave and Sean Feely on drums all played in the Poor Dumb Bastards. So now Bastard Union kind of carries on with those songs, keeps those songs alive, as well as our own songs that we've came up with as, lately for the band, for Bastard Union. So, and we've got a lot more songs on the table. So we'll be bringing those out, when we finish them. So
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. I know that folks, and we'll speak to those in a bit. We actually caught up with the band recently over at Dan Electro's and caught some footage that is going to be in this episode and a bunch of songs. This is like a seminal punk band here in Houston, Poor Dumb Bastards. And so if you're not aware, you're going to hear some crazy stories during this episode just because these guys are wild and like, again, pave the way for like a lot of bands that have followed in the scene in this city. I think it's actually refreshing to hear that, like, even though it seems a little sad, like these songs came from a real place because, if you listen to the songs, it almost could be like, okay, this is just for shock value, how far can these guys push it, let's, but really to know that like, okay, these songs came from a real place, I
right,
think, yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah, and we just didn't really know how to write any other way. I didn't, the the line between inspiration and being able just to pull a song out of the sky. You have to have the inspiration, or the rest of the rest of the song is not going to come to you. Just like Mom was a dump truck driving man.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of true things in that song. Um, my mother drove a semi with my dad. They owned a trucking company.
Uh-huh.
I was born in a trailer park, not off I-45. But Byron took that information and he made the lyrics into the song.
Right.
Mom was a dump truck driving man, which we like I said, we just didn't know any other way to write.
Yeah.
And the ideas at the time, Houston was a different kind of, there was a different kind of vibe in the early 90s where you had Nirvana just break.
Right.
And not only was this rock revolution of basically a resurgence of punk rock, I guess you would say, punk rock is what Nirvana brought to the table, really, if you get right down to it. Post-punk, punk rock. Not only in Houston, but everywhere else, they were having this big revival of rock.
Mm-hmm.
So since we didn't really know any other way to write, we just wrote about stuff that we thought was funny, really.
Right.
And some of the things that happened to Byron and happened to other people in the band, I mean, they were miserable, but they were funny. I mean, misery creates humor in itself.
Right.
I mean, losing your house, losing your wife, losing everything that you have, I mean, it's still funny, how did it happen? Well, all those things were kind of funny, you know?
Right.
So a lot of the songs that we did, they were just taken out of what we were going through at the time or what we thought was funny mainly. The whole duct tape mask thing, that was just all funny, or I thought it was funny. Um, and, and I didn't care really what Byron thought, if it was funny or not. I just thought, well, he'll go up on stage and people will think it's awesome. And they did.
Drop the little dump truck driving man.
People want a hero. They want something they can hang an image on, or whether they want, no matter what little portion of your personality. And I think Byron was the type of person that he had charisma already, and adding the mystique of the mask and the pants and the nudity and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Those were aspects of his personality that he already had.
Right.
I just kind of peppered the steak.
Right. For sure.
I just kind of prodded him along into that.
Yeah.
But he did a lot of that on his own.
Yeah.
Right. He pushed it because you got to remember the era of inspiration that we had, right? Sex Pistols, the Big Boys from Austin, the Dicks from Austin, the Hickoids from San Antonio. I mean, these guys were the Hates. All these guys were like our heroes,
Mm-hmm.
and those guys, were crazy. They were outlandish. They were crazy, and they were trying to get your attention.
But that's one thing that's always attracted me musically and physically to Mike is the songwriting. I mean, he's talented as fuck when it comes down to that.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, from the PDB songs, the first time I heard him, I was like, holy shit, this music's really good. I mean, the lyrics, take them as you want.
Right.
But the music is great. Luxurado was great. Amy Heller and the Love Team is another side project that we've done. The songwriting is really good. I totally respect Mike on for one of the things that I respect him for, especially his songwriting. He's got a real natural ability to do that, which I struggle with sometimes. But I'll present ideas, and he can help me complete them.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've had a few start to finish, but being with him for 20 years or so and seeing how his mind works as far as the process goes for songwriting, I've learned a lot, from him. It's I definitely appreciate your ability.
People liberally get on stage with the Bastard Union,
Right.
because they feel like they know us,
Right.
and I don't mind people coming on stage with us. I don't mind it because they are us. We are them.
Right.
We don't exist without the crowd or the people.
Yeah.
Right? They are as vital to the band as any one of the members on stage.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's that symbiotic relationship of why you wrote the song and who listened to it and appreciated it. Aside from the fact that, like, those songs, again, like, coming to it late, it's like these songs are awesome. They're sticking with me. Like, I'm hearing them, So that is a testament to what Dave was talking about. Those are just well-constructed songs. But, for the people that have been listening to them for some decades now, there's like, that song was written for me, even though it was written from these personal, places. Like, they feel that. So yeah, they want to come on stage. It makes total sense. Talking a little bit before we started rolling, and I was mentioning to you that I came into punk late, and especially Houston punk. You know, I'm like still really getting my footing with a lot of that music, and so to hear what you guys, you know, did, and especially the footage that Jason caught over at Dan Electro's, I think, you know, you could see where the music still hits, because if you were lucky enough to be there during those wild days, the song obviously is gonna, you know, it's still gonna resonate. You're gonna remember those moments that were like that. But even beyond that, like somebody like me that's hearing a bunch of these songs for the first time, like they rip, you know,
Mhm.
like My Dad, Two Whores and a Crack Pipe is like, you know, that song gets stuck in your head whether you want it or not.
And
So-
the thing about that song that resonates with people, I think, is just the raw reality of it. Whether you know it or not, that's a real incident. That's a real thing that happened to the band. All that. So we were talking briefly about the Houston Press Music Awards.
Yeah.
So that song, My Dad, Two Whores and a Crack Pipe, won a music award for Song of the Year in 1999
Right.
without being recorded, without being released. It was just a song people knew from the scene, which to me is crazy.
That is crazy.
It's insane. It came out, the recording came out like a year and a half later. So you're talking about a song that was just locally known by a group of people. And when it was released, they had it on the jukebox at Lola's. It played so much that the owner at the time, Marilyn, had it taken out of the jukebox, because that's the only thing people were playing was My Dad Tours. And supposedly she looked at a bartender and said, I can't hear that song again. So she took it out, and it went to Rudyard's, and it went to the next door, and it went to Instant Karma, and it went to other these places, and just constantly getting a spin. So the song is about a true incident that happened with Byron Dean's father. Byron got a call from his dad and said, hey, I need to pick something up. You need to pick something up from me. I'm in a motel off of I-45 South. Why don't you come over here and pick it up, and we'll take care of this issue. So Byron heads to this motel with our bass player at the time, and his name is Steve Schultz, and they walk into this hotel room, and it's kind of like foggy and cloudy, and there's Byron's dad in bed with a white hooker and a black hooker, and they're smoking crack in bed. And Byron's dad was like, hey, you boys, y'all need to get you some of this. It's like, nah, I think we're good. So Byron's dad was quite a character. Called him Red One. At one time, he was a DJ here at a light rock station in Houston back in the late '60s. So, and the guy was a nudist and all these different kind of things. So he was a character already. So the man had a Winnebago that he would take around to these nudist places. So those are true stories. So we won, circling back to the Houston Press Music Award. We found out we were going to win, that we were contacted by the Houston Press. Hey, you guys are going to win Punk Rock Band of the Year, and you're going to win Song of the Year for My Dad, Two Whores and a Crack Pipe, which we thought, we're in Houston, a fourth largest city. We're going to win Song of the Year for a song about a guy smoking crack. I mean, if you were in the rap scene, you would think, well, yeah, of course. So the awards ceremony was at a place called Elvia's, which was off of Richmond.
Right.
So all these C-list celebrities are there. All these like writers, all these bands. I remember there was a guy that used to do traffic on Channel 26, Lanny Griffith. He was there.
Oh yeah, Lanny.
All these people were there. And we're sitting in the corner and Byron is getting hammered. So first award comes around, Punk Rock Band of the Year. Yay, yay, everybody. Oh, cool. You know, by that time we hadn't reached critical mass. So Song of the Year, last award of the night.
Right.
I look over at Byron and I notice he's taking his clothes off. And he goes, you know what? He goes, I got to do this. And I was at the level of inebriation that I just said, man, you need to do whatever you feel you got to do. And I turned away. And they said, Song of the Year, My Dad Who Orders in a Crack Pipe. Woo! We're walking up there and Byron is behind me. He's nude. And we go up there and all these people's mothers, you know, all these all these people are there. And Byron's up there holding his junk. And then his dad comes up and his dad drops trowel right there on stage. And the presenter is like, what the hell, you know? And I remember there was a band, they're still around, called Free Radicals. And I think their moms were there and stuff. And we're like, oh, man. You know, you can later look back at that and go, God, man, what the hell were we thinking? You know? So got our awards. And then after that, we got banned for 7 years from any kind of mention in the Houston press.
Wow.
Nothing
at all.
For 7 years.
Wow.
And we had already won 2 awards. But we went on, after our 7-year ban, we won 3 more.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Porterfield, lead guitar.
come across you sometimes, and you know where you're playing with other bands, and you always just seem so chill, like very chill, you know. And then some of those bands are not chill, you
Right.
know. And so obviously neither was Poor Dumb Bastards, but you know, it's interesting that Mike's talking about trust, you know, and the trust that he has in you. And I see that with the other bands that you've been with. You know, you're just steady, and you know, every band I think needs something like that too. You know.
Yeah, I have my moments. You know, I'm not always chill. I'm mellowed out quite a bit.
Yeah.
With age.
Right.
With AIDS,
But you know, whiskey in a nice whiskey barrel, aged to perfection.
so with Dave too, you know, Dave, when I first met Dave, he was playing in a cover band, right? And we hit it off, you know, And the first project I brought Dave in on was Luxurata. And Luxurata played a kind of a almost like a British type, not, I don't want to say Brit pop, but writing style of, you know, like House of Love or the Catherine Wheel or something like that.
Okay.
And Dave fit right in. And after working with Dave in Luxurata for a few years, I was like, man, he and I we're on the same wavelength. So when Port Ambassadors needed a guitar player, he was the right guy for it, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's been that way with a couple of different things. But Dave also on his own, he's played with the Dead Rabbits. He's also played with Donkey Punch for years, another big Montrose band with some great players. There again, I go back to the point that we were talking about earlier with Houston bands. There's so many good Houston bands out there, especially right now. The scene has kind of recalibrated itself. It was kind of lost there for a while because when you lose some major clubs, the music kind of doesn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
But now you have clubs out there, and the quality of the Houston bands is just, it's going up and up and up.
But you know, when you have like a really good punk scene, and we do in this city, and I like now we're talking about how there's like these generations, there's waves of like the bands that are coming out, and like because I now am like a little bit more involved, I'm seeing these kids, young bands, you know, that are like, man, they're crazy, you know, and and they're like just from all different backgrounds because it's Houston, you know, it's diverse here. And to your point, Mike, they're doing what you guys did. They're writing about their experience,
Right.
You know, and whether it's going to sell a lot of records or not doesn't matter. You know, this is a thing that I need to write, and then other people latch onto it. That's what music's about, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, we've like I said, we were blessed with a lot of experiences that gave us inspiration for the whole PDB canon, basically.
Yeah.
And even the last record we did, it started with a song called "The Price of Rebellion," which is kind of like taking commercial punk rock, selling the rebellion. You know, you're selling the rebellion.
Sure.
And so the words were about, you know, selling the rebellion. You know.
Yeah.
And which, you know, with a lot of punk rock bands, I guess you would say whether they considered like a band like Green Day considers themselves punk rock.
It's funny. It's exactly what I thought of you were talking about.
Yeah. And, you know, Blink-182, which, you know, I like those bands.
Yeah.
They're certainly not, they're certainly not what I would call a rebellious punk rock band.
Right.
Whether I like them or not, or, you know, whatever I just don't consider them a rebellious punk rock band. I think they're taking a revolution started by somebody else and just repackaging and selling it.
Yeah.
You know.
You're always pushing me around. Now you're messing with the devil's playground. out of focus and you're making me blind, like a ghost tripping out on the main line. It's a shame you can't see what my love is divine. Gonna have to change your mind. My touch is gonna make you see, yeah. Well, my voice is gonna make you free, yeah. Late at night, can you hear me calling? No excuses, never stop your turning. It's a shame you can't see that my love is divine. Gonna have to change your mind. Don't you know I'm not your tiny little baby girl? And you know your daddy's gonna rock your world. Late at night, can you hear me feeling? No excuses, better stop your bleeding. It's a shame you can't see that my love is divine. Gonna have to change your mind. It's a shame you can't see that my love is divine. Gonna have to change your.
One of those songs, I know there's one that Jason really loves. It's called Gun Room. And
Right.
so just kind of the thing that we do on this show is talk about specific songs and where those songs came from. And, you know, I think a lot of the songs that you guys had or have as Poor Dumb Bastards are songs that really push that envelope. We'll get into all that during the show, but yeah, that we're talking a little bit, it came from a real place.
So Gun Room was a song that it was one of the first Poor Dumb Bastard songs. Myself and our singer at the time, Byron Dean, had both gone through a divorce, and his divorce was a lot more bitter than mine at the time, and so he pretty much lost everything in this divorce. So Byron and I went to school together, and we always talked about having a band. So time passes, we graduate, time passes, we kind of drift apart, but we're kind of still talking. Time comes around, well, Byron's like, well, I'm moving back to Houston, I'm going through a divorce. And I said, you know what? I'm going through a divorce right now too. Why don't we get together and do this band thing? So initially, when he's coming back, I start messing around with songs. I start messing around with song ideas. And there used to be a radio show in town. It was called, on K101, it was called Stevens and Pruitt. So one morning they were talking, and in the conversation somewhere, one of the guys says, well, all I need is a small, quiet room, a revolver, and some time to myself. And I was like, whoa, that's a song, man. And we can totally relate to that song right now, because we're both, losing our ass in a divorce. So Byron was one of those type of people that if he was inspired, just the words started rolling. So I gave him the push off the hill, and he carried carried it the rest of the way, you know, which the song starts off with the phrase, all I need is a small, quiet room, a revolver, and some time to myself, which I thought that was just a brilliant statement. And he pulls in, you know, I lost my house, I lost my car, I lost everything I was working for, which was all reality that we were doing at the time.
All I need is a small, quiet room, a revolver, and some time to myself. All I need is a small, quiet room, a revolver, and some time to myself. Can you know when you really need me? Well, it's not so bad that I miss your dad's money. Now I'm stuck here with all this debt. I don't even have no hope yet, and all I need is a small, quiet room, a revolver, and some time to myself. All I need is a small, quiet room, a revolver, and some time to myself. I lost my house, I lost my car, I lost everything I was working for. I just put this gun to my head, pull the trigger, now I'll be dead by two. Before I die, I'm gonna make you mad. Before I die, I'm gonna kill your fucking dad. And all I need is a small, quiet room, a revolver, and some time to myself. All I need is a small, quiet room, a revolver, some time to myself, a revolver. Oh, just let it rain down, baby. Some bullets and some time to myself.
There is no Montrose scene now. All the Montrose bands are, you may call yourself a Montrose band, but there is no Montrose to play in now.
Yeah, there's no venue.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for people now that didn't get to experience that. I mean, emos on a weeknight on Dollar Beer Night, or Lola's, you know, on Dollar Beer Night. Or the very first band I ever saw local here was the Hates at Joe Starr's Omni, right there on the curve on Westheimer.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, venues come and go, bands come and go. But those days of the camaraderie, and when you really felt like, I mean, like the Hates were rock stars to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so were the Judys.
Yeah.
And bands like, you know, later on when we first started Porn Up Bastards, one of the big bands was Sugar Shack. And Sugar Shack was incredible. I mean, they still are incredible. And those guys really inspired us, you know, that we could get out there and and they were as perverted as we were. Sugar Shack, maybe not as perverted, but those guys were singing about the real thing, you know?
Yeah.
And the paintings too. I mean, all these people, and some of those people, thank God, they're still around.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we really appreciate you guys stopping by. It's been a lot of fun. I learned a lot, just about, and that's what this show's about. It's like, you know, again, I didn't have that awareness of this very, you know, important band to this city scene, and so to get to come to it a little bit, you know, later. I wish I'd come earlier. Now, knowing what these shows were like, you know, and seeing some of what I missed out on, but the music stands up. That's the important thing, you know.
Well, at least you didn't spam on your shirt.
That's true. I didn't get spam.
Dirty. That's a good bar.
But no, I appreciate y'all hanging out
Well, we're
and
glad to be here.
and
Yeah,
talking
thanks for
music. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
if you guys can see Bastard Union at any point in the future, you should get out there, listen to these songs in the episode today. Go find their stuff, I guess, online somewhere out
Sure.
there. Yeah, and so go to a live show though, for sure. That's the best place to hear this music, and so, like any music. So till the next episode, I'm Jesse. That's Jason back there, and we'll catch you on the next one.